Marty's having a fit back there.
Yeah, I know. We'll go.
Is he having a seizure, or is he trying to ask a question?
Parkhurst, you have it?
Oh, boy.
Bob Parkhurst, SceneDaily.com for Richard. Clint Boyer got back in the top 12. I want to say he's 35 points up on Mark Martin. How would you assess his chances to get in the chase, and how big was it for him to kind of get back in that top 12 today?
Well, I mean, that's going to be a battle. It's not just racing two guys. It's about four guys that can still win that. And Clint's still pretty wired. He, like Kevin said, you got to mature through these things, and that's one thing that Clint's working on, and we're working on with him. And the pressure that goes along with where he's sitting now. We sat there in that situation before going into Richmond, and it's a tough deal, and it's tough on the drivers. And he and I are going to talk tomorrow, and hopefully we can do some things that'll get him focused in on what he's got to accomplish these next three races. And it's a lot about being right there and having the focus and concentration.
Okay, we're going to close down with just several more. Don, you're first.
Yes, Don Coble again. What is the game plan now for the 29? It's for both of you for the next 3 weeks. You're in the chase. Is just go out and win and have fun.
You think it'd go over well if we went on vacation? Probably not. No, I think it's to do the same thing that we did today. I think it's fun. I mean, right now we're in a fortunate position to be doing what we're doing. I've been in that 12th, 13th place battle, and it sucks, to be honest with you. It's not any fun at all. You can't sleep at night. You can't do anything and to get your mind off of that. So we're going to enjoy it. We're going to go. We're going to race hard. We're going to try to gain 30 more bonus points, and hopefully we can have a couple things that we can try. For sure now we can try, whether it's engines or parts, pieces, something over the next 3 weeks, and try to get a little bit better. So we're going to enjoy it, and we're going to hopefully be ready for the last 10 weeks.
Okay, our last three will come from Bob, Dustin, and Marty Smith.
Robert DeRogi, BRD Broadcasting. Kevin, you went after Denny on the high side, passed him on the turn. Here at Michigan, how did you figure out that, boy, the high side was the best for you all day and run the high side?
Well, it's just a lot of years of getting beat by people running up there, to be honest with you. I never could really figure it out. And so probably into last year, middle of last year, first or second race last year, I went home and watched just some tapes of Dale Jr., to be honest with you, some of his previous races here, because he always seemed to have a good handle on running the top groove. And it was just more of a rhythm thing and some things that I needed to change in my approach to run up there. So for us, it was I think the biggest change that was not only the race cars being good, but just the approach to where we ran on the racetrack during the race and just making that commitment, and it worked out for us today.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers, one for each. Kevin, you talked earlier about learning from the California experience. Was that learning from your own self when you were flying back or the next day, or was that somebody talking to you? And can you relate how that helped you with chasing down Denny? Because obviously you made the move with 20 to go, backed off, and then came back after.
Yeah, really, the California thing was just more of a wake-up call. If you're going to have fast cars, there's no reason to ruin them. We were going to win the race, hands down, if I was just patient. And it's just, you want to force the issue and take advantage when you can. And it's just, that was just a huge reminder for me that these things go in cycles. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You can't let the highs be too high and the lows be too low. Sometimes you just finish second. And, when you're that much faster than the guy in front of you, you got to take your time until the laps are out. And that's kind of what I did today. I didn't want to make a mistake by running into the wall. When Denny rolled up to the top, I didn't want to do the same thing I did behind Jimmy and push into the fence, in the middle or up off the corner. And so I tried to take care of my car and just kind of let time take care of his. And mine got better as it progressed, and I knew that. And there was no reason to force it until it was very clear that we were going to make the move and go by. So that was a big key in the way that the year's gone so far. And there's been instances where we could have pushed the issue a little bit more, but it really wasn't worth the risk at that particular point, just for the fact that you got a lot of laps left in the race, and today we had a long time to work Denny over and try to get by. And
for Richard, and I don't know if you want to answer also to Kevin, is why wouldn't you say you're the team to beat at this point? I mean, you've led the points. Yeah, those other guys have a couple more wins, but you pull out this win. You've shown the improvements from the last race here. Why wouldn't you put the gauntlet down and say, hell yeah, we're the team to beat?
Well, I think over the last 4 years, you can look at the 48, and they've done kind of the same thing, and they win the championship. So until you beat the guy that's won the last 4 championships, we're fast enough to beat them. But the circumstances and all the things have to go your way over the last 10 weeks. It's not about a whole season anymore. It's about 10 weeks. So, they're going to start pretty much dead even or a little bit ahead of us. Hopefully, we can keep doing the same thing that we're doing, and it's just, it's like saying you're going to beat somebody that's won the last 4 Super Bowls. I mean, it's just until you beat that guy, there's no reason to put that pressure on ourselves, I don't think.
Yeah, that's just saying it. I don't ever want to be cocky and sit up here and say, yeah, we're the team to beat, and then you got to put your head between your tails when you leave Homestead. We don't want to do that. We want to go there and let our teams do the talking and keep ourselves in a position to win. And sure, we think we've got the cars and everything to contend for the championship, but we ain't going to be cocky about it.
Our last question. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Marty Smith, ESPN. All right, Kevin, it's a cyclical sport.
That's a big word for me.
It goes in cycles.
Okay, thank you.
1 year ago, when you left here, could you ever have imagined that it would have cycled this well for you? That you would be in a position where you had these victories, look like a legitimate shot to win your first title?
Not really. I think that you guys would all look at us, and I think you guys still have a hard time believing that it's turned around. We got over that, the first few weeks of the season and realized that we were headed down the right path. But when you look at the statistics and you look at the situations and all the things, that you take from a year ago, it's hard to believe. But, I mean, it's not from a lot of effort and from a lot of people doing their jobs and making changes on Richard's parts and me trying to do things differently, and it's so deep with the people that it's hard to explain how much effort goes into turning a company of the magnitude of RCR around in a different direction when it's basically a huge factory of producing stuff, and you basically shut the factory down and say, okay, you guys can't build anything else until we figure out what you're going to build, and then we want you to build 60 of them in the shortest amount of time you can, and then we got to change all the processes and all the things and all the people, and it's just it's a huge undertaking. And for me, owning a race team, I understand that, and it's hard to fathom how big that turnaround is when you really get into looking at it.
All right, thanks guys. Congratulations
Yep.
on a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you all.